It's Young People's Week on Card Shark. And if you play your cards right, you can win a fabulous trip to Hawaii. And now, the host of Card Shark, Bob Eubanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Card Sharks. Well, it's Young People's Week on our show, and it's always the most delightful time. I have such a good time. We hope you enjoy it, too. You obviously do, because you've asked for the young people to come back. And not only do we have a lot of money for them to win, but they could win a fabulous trip to Hawaii for 4. That's what we gave away last time on our show, so it's really a lot of fun. Before we get started, let's meet our two lovely dealers. They're right here beside me, Lacey Pemberton and Susanna Williams. Whoa! Aloha and all of that other Hawaiian kind of stuff. You girls look beautiful today.
Well, thank you.
Two delightful young people back with us. Why don't you set the cards up and let's meet our card sharks. Come on here, Scott and Amy. How are you, Scott?
All right, how are you?
Boy, I'm just fine. It's so much fun when you guys are on the show. It really is.
My name is Scott Heimlich. I go to Sepulveda Junior High School. I love sports and I love acting, and I want to be a soccer player when I grow up.
Sports and acting, want to be a soccer player.
Yeah.
Good for you. Nice
Thank
to have
you.
you with us. Amy.
Hi, my name's
What did
Amy
you call me
Broadhagen.
before the show?
Mr. Eubanks.
Yeah, I know. That makes me feel very old. Could you call me Bob?
All right, Bob.
Thank
Hi,
you.
my name's Amy Broadhagen. I'm 11 years old, and I'm in the 6th grade at Laguna Red Elementary School, and I'd like to say hi to all my friends who are watching.
Well, okay. I'm glad they're watching, too. Nice to have you two with us. Now, you know how to play this game, I
Yes.
assume?
Yeah.
Fine. We're dealing out the cards. Susanna's got them dealt out. Boy, the girls are fast today, aren't they? And these are from the decks that you cut before we went on the air. The first player to win 2 games wins the championship, goes on to play for the big money, and also a trip to Hawaii. So the best of luck to you. Let's go to our first question in game number 1. And this question goes to you, Scott. It involves our 10 co-eds who have been with us all week from Cal State Fullerton. And there they are. And here's the question, Scott. Before the show, we asked these 10 girls, if you saw your date back down from a fist fight, would you lose respect for him? How many of these 10 girls said they would lose respect for him?
Well, with these girls today, I don't think many of them would lose respect for them. Maybe he went up against some big guy, and the girls today, no, they wouldn't really lose respect from him unless they were dating Mr. Buff. But I'd say...
Mr. Buff?
You. I'd say it'd be around maybe 4.
4 out of the 10 you think would lose respect for him. Amy, what do you think about this? On higher or lower than 4?
I'm going to say it's going to be lower, because I don't think they would care about the violence. They would just think,
Sure.
well,
I would never
he's a
walk
nice
out.
guy nevertheless.
You
so.
bet. I would never walk out on a fight. I would run. The actual number of these girls who would lose respect for him is 0. Yes, 0. Thank you, ladies, very, very much. Nancy, it doesn't matter if a guy's a big chicken, does it?
No, it doesn't matter at all. In fact, I'd probably lose respect if he did fight.
Fighting is an ugly thing. There's
It
no
is,
doubt
very
about
ugly.
it. Thank you, ladies. I have great respect for you for the answer. All right, Amy. Ready? Amy, your card is an 8. You can change
I'll
if you
change
want
that
to.
card.
All right. The 8 becomes a 5. Now what are
I'm
you
going to
do?
say higher.
Is it higher than the 5? No.
Oh.
It's all right. Scott, you're playing free now. Here's your card, pal. It's a 6. You got
I'll
to
go
play.
higher.
Higher than the 6, the man says. Nope. Ooh, find you some face cards, Susanna. Will you please do that for me? Okay, we didn't make any progress that time. Let's go on to our next question. Amy, this is your question.
All right.
It's an educated guess question, Amy. Okay. All right? According to the Guinness Book of World Records, T.J. Jackson is the fattest person alive. When he's at his heaviest, how much does he weigh?
Well, I once read a book, and there was this guy who was 1,750 pounds, so I'll say he's about 3,000 pounds.
3,000 pounds at his heaviest. Scott, higher or lower than 3,000?
Well, I'm going to have to say lower, because, I mean, I know a lot of people that eat a lot, but no, not 3,000 pounds. You couldn't even fit in pants.
Don't look at me like that, okay, Scott? The actual weight of the fattest person alive is 891 pounds. It was considerably lower. Amy, I don't know about that book you read, huh? Scott, you can play the 6 or
I'm gonna
change
go
it.
higher again.
Gonna keep the 6? You can change it if you
Oh,
want to. I just want to remind you of that.
I'll change it.
You want to change the 6? All right, he's gonna change it. The 6 is now a 7. Now you gotta play.
I'll go higher.
Higher. Is it higher than the 7? Yes, it is.
I'm going to freeze.
Freeze on the 9, all right. He will freeze right there. He has a 1-card lead in this game. We'll pause for these words. When we come back, we'll see if the cards are a little better, all right? Kind of crummy cards right now. See you in a moment. Welcome back. It's Young People's Week on Card Sharks. We have a lot of money and a trip to Hawaii to give away. We hope we do that right now. So, Scott, here's the next question. It's yours. We're in the middle of game number 1. Remember that. And, Scott, we surveyed 100 married women, and we asked them, is your husband the first man you ever dated? How many married women said their husband was the first man they dated?
Well, with my mom, she has guys all over. That was before she was married. But he was definitely not the first man because she dated a lot of people in high school. And she took out this guy named Bill to the high school prom, so I know that's at least one before. And she met my dad. She met my dad at UCLA.
Your mom already got around, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. So I'd say, what was the question again?
The question was, your mom really got around, didn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, how many married women said their husband was the first man they dated?
I don't think it's going to be that high. I'll go with 22.
22 out of 100. Amy, higher or lower than 22?
I think it's going to be just a tiny bit higher because sometimes it just does happen that you'll see someone and you'll go out with them for a while and then you'll say, this is the person I want to be with for the rest of my life.
Isn't that nice? So you think it'd be higher. Well, the actual number of married women who said their husband was the first man they ever dated is 7. Wasn't higher, it was lower. Much lower. Scott.
Okay, I'm going to change that card.
Change the 9. That's where you froze. Okay, the 9 now becomes a 4. That's
I'm going
better.
to go higher.
Higher than the 4, yes.
I'm going lower.
Lower than the 10, yes.
I'm going higher.
If it's higher, you win game number 1. No. Back to the 4 you go. And Amy, you got a free chance to play on with the 5. You can't change it, so here we go.
Okay, I'll say it's higher.
Higher, is it? Yeah.
Lower.
Lower than the 9. She's going on. How about that? Higher than the deuce. How about that?
Lower.
If it's lower, you win the first game. You did it. Congratulations to you, Amy. You just won $100.
Yeah.
How about that? And without a face
Great.
card on the board. That was amazing. Terrible cards over there. Okay, Amy, you win the first game. That means if you win the next game, you're the champ. We'll play for the big money and a trip to Hawaii. So, Scott, you got to do some catching up now. Suzanne's going to deal out the cards in the same deck. And here we go, Amy. This is your question.
All right.
We surveyed 100 bachelors who own a dog. We asked them, if your girlfriend gave you an ultimatum, either the dog goes or she goes, would you kiss the girl goodbye?
Well,
How many bachelors said they would give up their girlfriend?
I think that's going to be a pretty low number because, I mean, this woman that you like a lot and your dog, I mean, there's pretty big difference. So I'm going to say that's going to be pretty high, about 58.
She could jump in the back of my pickup, I'd keep her. I just want to make sure you understand the question now. How many would say goodbye to the girl?
Oh, okay. I was thinking how many would get rid of the dog. Okay,
Yeah, I know you
then
would.
I'm
That's
gonna
because
say
you're a girl.
Okay, I'm going to say that's lower. Probably
How many would say goodbye to the girl?
18.
18 would say goodbye to the girl. Scott, higher or lower than that?
Well, if I was a bachelor, and I would definitely not say goodbye to the dog unless the girl was a dog. So I would say... I would definitely say bye to the dog, and I'd say lower.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome, too. The actual number of bachelors who would give up their girlfriend is 60. Wasn't lower, it was higher.
Okay.
60 guys would give up the girl and keep the dog. Unless she was a dog. Thank you, Scott. Amy, there it is. It's a 10.
I mean lower.
You want to keep the card? You can change it, too. You remember that. But
Yeah, I want to keep it
okay,
lower.
keep it and go lower. All right. The lady knows what she's doing. Lower than the 10? No, not lower than the 10. Scott, you're playing free. And here's your card. Scott, it's a 9. You got to play.
I'm going to go lower.
Is it lower than the 9? No, it is not lower than the 9. So we're not making any progress at all. Cards are real bad right now. Why don't we pause for a couple of commercials? Maybe the luck will change a little bit. We'll be right back to find out who's going to win this championship right after this. Welcome back to Card Sharks. Remember, it's Young People's Week on our show, and winners of less than $2,500 will receive the cash. Winners of $2,500 or more will receive certificates of deposit that will mature when the winners become 18 years of age. And the next question goes to Scott. It involves our 10 co-eds from Cal State Fullerton. Scott, and they're in position. And here is the question. Scott, before the show, we asked these 10 girls, have you ever actually spent all day getting ready for a date? Now, how many of these 10 girls have spent all day getting ready for a date?
I think it won't be that many. I know a lot that spend hours, but not all day. I mean, I know some girls, they spend 3 hours putting on makeup and 2 hours putting on clothes. But, you know...
Do you know a lot of girls?
Yeah, some. And I'd say it'd be about 4.
4 out of the 10, you say, spent all day getting ready for a date. Amy, will it be higher or lower than 4?
I say that's going to be lower because, I mean, he has the right reasoning. I mean, maybe you could take 2 hours putting on your makeup and so long putting on your clothes, and you say, oh, no, this outfit isn't right. But not all day. That's
what the
just
heck can
too
you do
long.
all day, right? I mean, gee whiz. The actual number of these girls who have spent all day getting ready for a date is 8 of them have. Wasn't lower, it was higher. That's unbelievable to me.
Hey, they got a lot
Well,
to
which
do.
8 have actually spent all day getting ready for... I can't believe it. Okay, Scott, what do you want to do?
Change that card.
Let's do it. The 9 is an ace.
Lower.
Lower than the ace. There's a king.
I'm gonna go lower again.
Lower than the king. Got a deuce.
I'm gonna go higher.
Higher than the deuce. There's a 4.
I'm gonna go higher.
If it's higher, we're going to play a tiebreaker game. Higher than the 4? Yes! Now, 1 game apiece for each of our contestants. Okay, now the excitement really begins. We're going to move it right along here, gang, because somebody's going to play for the big money. And this time we're going to play a tiebreaker with only 3 cards, a maximum of 3 high-low questions. Amy, the first question goes to you, and here it is. Amy, we surveyed 100 16-year-old girls, and we asked them, should a high school principal have the right to search a student's locker without her permission? How many 16-year-old girls said a principal should have that right?
I think that's going to be a pretty low number because, I mean, a lot of people have private stuff in their locker that they wouldn't want anyone else to see. So I'm going to say that's low. I'm going to say about 12.
12 out of 100 said the principal should have that right. Scott, higher or lower than 12?
Well, principal, I think they would think they'd have that right. The 16-year-olds, I don't think they would, but some of the ones that don't really have private stuff in their lockers would. So out of 100, I think I'm going to say higher.
Even higher than the 12?
Yeah.
The actual number of 16-year-old girls who said a principal should have the right to search a student's locker is 26. You're right. Scott, it was higher. All right, Scott, here we go. First card is a 7. What do you want to do with it?
I'm going to change that card.
Yeah, Susanna has for you a 7 now becomes a 7 again. You got to play.
I'm going to go higher.
Higher than the 7, is it? No, it is not. Amy, you're playing free, hon. You got to play this card. 9 is yours.
Lower.
Lower than the 9. The lady says it is not. Okay, next question. Here we go. This question's for you, Amy. We surveyed 100 policemen, and we asked them, can a woman be as effective a police officer... Excuse me, it's Scott's. Can a woman be as effective a police officer as a man? How many policemen said a woman can be just as effective?
I wouldn't mind a woman policeman arresting me. I mean, I think...
Yeah, we know all about you already, Scott.
Yeah, I think they wouldn't mind it. Out of 100?
Yes, said
I
a
think
woman
not
can
many
be as
would
effective.
mind it. I'd say around 78.
78. Amy, higher or lower than 78?
I'm going to say that's a little lower.
Little lower?
Because a lot of men think that they're better than women.
Okay, the actual number of policemen who said a woman can be as effective a police officer as a man is 74. It was a little lower, Amy. You're right. Now, you want to get rid of the 9?
What?
You want to change the 9? Sure. Okay, the 9 is a 7.
Higher.
Higher than the 7, the lady says it is not. Scott, you got to play off the 7.
I'm going to go higher.
Higher than the 7. Yes, it is. What will he do?
I'm going to go higher.
Higher again. If it's higher, you're the champ. Higher? No. Okay, here we go. Third and final question. Now, this is sudden death. Someone's got to win the game on the next play of the cards control is what you're looking for. Amy, it's an educated guess question. Here it is. How many years ago did the first color television set go on sale in the United States?
Okay, well, my grandmother said she could remember when the first color television was put out. Well, not exactly she was there, but she said she remembers when it happened, so I'm going to say that was about 1947.
How many years ago? I need how many years ago?
Oh, how many years ago? I'm going to say 58.
58 years ago. Scott, higher or lower
Well,
than that?
my dad, when my dad was little, he told me he got a television, and he has an age, and so
How old is he,
I'm
Scott?
I forgot.
Okay.
And I was still on my allowance, and I'm gonna say I'm
If you
going
wanna
to
lose
say
his
it's going to
allowance.
be a little lower than that because
You think it's gonna be lower?
he got one for his birthday.
Okay. You guys make color TV sound like it was... Oh. The actual number of years ago, the first color television set went on sale is 32 years ago. It was lower. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm going to change that card
Scott,
for last time.
this is sudden death. Let me tell you a
No,
couple of
can't
things
change the
before
card.
you do that. Yes,
Okay.
you can change the card and play it out. If you goof, Amy wins the game and the championship. Or you can pass it on to Amy. She must play off the 7. If she goofs, you win the championship. So you want to play it or pass it?
I'm going to pass it.
Pass it on to Amy. Okay, Amy, it's up to you with the 7, hon.
Higher.
Higher. Is it higher than the 7? It is not. Scott is our champion.
Congratulations. Congratulations. You too.
Oh, Amy. Congratulations, Scott. Amy, we have $100 for you and some nice prizes. You're just a delightful
Thank
lady.
you.
And we'll see you again. Bye-bye. Come here, champ.
So,
Right over here. All right, my friend. Turn right around there and let everybody see you because this is our champ. In a moment, he's going to play for a lot of money and a trip to Hawaii. We'll be right back with that. Scott and I were just talking. He's going to become a game show host someday. So I got a couple of shows. We'll be waiting for you then, guy.
Okay.
Lacey and Susanna are dealing out the cards. This is where you can make the big money and also have a chance of winning a fabulous trip to Hawaii for 4. In the deck, we've added a couple of jokers. When they come up, that helps you win that trip. Also, just for winning the championship, well, Susanna's got 2 jokers there, so you know you're going to have at least 2 chances of winning that trip to Hawaii. I know you don't need any help, but we're going to bring your mom out here just to stand beside you, give you a little moral support, too. Hi, Mom. It's quite a young man you got. You know that. I'm sure you do. All right, let's give him $200, and Scott, let's win thousands of dollars. Here we go. On your way now. With $200, Scott, your first card is a 7. You can play or change.
I'm going to change that card with number 2.
Number 2. All right, let's see what Lacey has for you. The 7 becomes a 10. You've got $200 and you got to play.
I'm going to go 100 lower.
100. Lower than the 10. No, but you got $100. You're all right.
Okay, I'm going to go 50 lower.
$50. Lower than the jack it is. Now you got $150.
I'm going to go 100 lower.
100. Lower than the 10. It is again. You've got $250. The 7 is yours.
Okay, I'm changing that card with number 1.
Let's get rid of it. We're ready for some good cards for you. The 7 is now a 5, and you've got $650. I give you
Okay.
$400.
$500 higher.
500 higher than the 5. You bet. 1150.
$1,000 lower.
1,000 lower than the king. Joker's there. Whoa! Susanna, he now has 3. And now I'll put this card here once again. You've got a king and you've got 1,150. What you bet now?
I'm going to go 1,000 lower.
1,000 lower. Same bet. Is it lower? Yes. You've got $2,150. You've got to play the 8.
Okay, I'm going to go 100 lower.
$100. Lower than the 8. How about that? Oh, now look at his eyes shine.
Woo! Whatever it is, all of it higher.
Whatever it is, all of it higher. You know how much money you're going to win, my friend? A whole lot. That's $4,500. There you go. Okay. Now, Mom and Scott, I want you to come right over here, if you would, please. Come right over here. And if you'll notice that Lacey's got 7 numbered cards. Behind one of them is the word Hawaii. If you can find it with 3 jokers, you're going to win this fabulous trip. Gene?
Scott, it's a trip for 4, round-trip coach from Los Angeles to Honolulu. From Pleasant Hawaiian Holidays, a fabulous week in famous Waikiki, including air transportation and luxury accommodations. Enjoy a pleasant Hawaiian vacation from Pleasant Hawaiian Holidays. Okay, Bob.
3 chances. Find the word Hawaii, and you and your family are going to Hawaii. Here we go. Number 2, number 5, and... number 6. Okay, Scott, right over here. Stand next to Mom. Let's see if you won a trip to Hawaii. Already won a lot of money. You're a winner no matter what. Here we go. Behind the word 2. No. Behind the card, number 5. Behind the card, number 5 is the word no. Behind card number 6. One more chance. Is Hawaii there? It is Not there. Mom was yelling to you, 7, 7, 7, 7. Had you chosen 7, it was there. But that's okay. You still end up winning $4,700 in cash. Not bad at all. We'll be right back with more Card Sharks. So long, everybody, from Card Sharks.
Some of our young